Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and thank you very much for swinging by the channel to watch today's video. Really appreciate that. And guys, I have a really good, funny bass fishing Karen story that I'm gonna share with you guys today of something that happened this week to me up at Lake of the Ozarks. It's funny, yet it's sort of irritating at the same time. So I want to tell you the story, and then I want to do a little commentary on sort of a related issue here in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, thank you very much for everybody that's taking time to subscribe here at Intuitive Angling. Man, if you want to support the channel, something that's free and easy to do, just hit that subscribe button. Also, guys, if you hit the like button and the share button, that helps push the algorithm out on the channel a little bit. And also, if you want to go to the next level on Intuitive Angling, you can be an Intuitive Angling channel member. And channel members get private videos every week, 2 videos a week that are not seen by the public, and my email address for your fishing questions. So if you'd like to learn more about what it takes to become a channel member, just go to my YouTube homepage, click the join button or the membership button for information. So I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, at the time you watch this, I'm actually fishing the finals of the Toyota Series tournament up there as you're watching this video today. I posted it early this morning. And in practice at Lake of the Ozarks, something happened I want to share with you guys about a bass fishing Karen. Now, I've run into a bunch of them, guys. I'll tell you a few more stories. I've actually done some videos, but this dude that I ran into in practice here sort of takes the cake in a lot of different ways with that. Now, if you're not familiar with Lake of the Ozarks, there's probably more boat docks on Lake of the Ozarks than any lake in the country. And there's probably more of those big wave-making bastards, the giant boats out there that throw up the giant wakes, more than any lake in the country. It's literally on the weekend, like at the time you're watching this video, when I'm running back to the weigh-in this evening, the lake is like a washing machine, even if it's calm out, with like 3 and 4 foot waves coming from every direction from these big boats just going everywhere in the lake. People get killed all the time up there, you know, in boat wrecks. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing. So if you do come to Lake of the Ozarks, really be careful. But anyway, guys, in practice up there, I'm back in this big cove, right? This cove goes back in for probably, man, it goes way back in there, maybe a quarter of a mile. And, you know, it's wide. It's probably 500 yards wide. And I'm idling about probably 100 foot away from the boat docks, idling to the back of this cove. Anyway, I'm idling through there, and I've got my motor in gear, just in gear, maybe a little bit above the gear, and I'm throwing maybe a 4-inch wake, so a little wake like that. You know, a bass boat, even when you put it in gear, it's going to make a wake about 3 or 4 inches big. So I'm idling back in there, and all of a sudden, this guy comes running down the hill from his house. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "slow that son of a bitch down." He goes, "This is a no wake zone." And I'm like, what's that guy talking about? Because I'm not throwing a wake, and I'm looking around. It's like, who's he yelling at? I don't know who's this guy. He goes, "I said, slow that son of a bitch down," like that. So anyway, he comes down there and he's yelling at me. And I stopped the boat and I turned the boat off. And he goes, "This is a no wake zone." He goes, "I'm sick of you damn bass fishermen coming in here thinking you can just, you know, throw wakes up on our dock." I said, "Dude," I said, "I'm throwing a 4-inch wake out." I said, "My 4-inch wake is not going to hurt your 3-ton steel boat dock there." And it's like, I said, "I've got my motor in gear barely, just barely above gear." I go, "What do you want me to do? Get on the trolling motor and just troll past your docks? So my 4-inch wake's not going to hit your boat dock?" And this guy was freaking pissed. And he starts mouthing a little bit. And I'm like, "Whatever, dude, you know, have a nice day. And, you know, what else can you do?" So anyway, here's some commentary on that. That's not the first time this has happened. I'm sure you guys have seen that too. First of all, here's my opinion on boat docks. I don't think it should be legal for people to have a private boat dock on a lake. Because when you're talking about public bodies of water, okay, where our tax dollars subsidize taking care of these lakes and the lawn tramps and the, you know, paying people's salaries, all this type of stuff, it's a public body of water. What gives, who should have the right to say, for example, I've got a nice little bank that I've been fishing for 50 years on Lake of the Ozarks, and maybe I put some brush piles. What gives some guy the right to put a boat dock in there, to infringe on my right to fish that bank there, and then get pissed at me for either fishing too close to his boat dock or throwing a 4-inch wake up on his boat dock, or maybe accidentally skipping a jig and hitting a pontoon or hitting a float that's on his boat dock. What gives somebody the right to infringe on a public body of water and think that they own the lake? That's one of the things I've talked about a lot on my videos here, guys. Is I don't think that we should have private boat docks. If you're on a private lake, but if you're on a private lake that's closed off to the public, do what you want to. But when you're on a public body of water, there's no way that is right for somebody to tell somebody what they can and can't do in terms of fishing a public body of water because they choose to have a boat dock in the lake there. And this even goes to like those big condo and those big commercial docks, because a lot of them have like no fishing within 50 feet of the dock. Why do they have the right, like a condo owner or a marina dock owner, have the right to keep people from fishing anywhere they want to on that lake just because they decided to put a boat dock in there to make some money, to profit off of public body of water? So I don't have any sympathy, guys, for dock owners. I am courteous to them, and I go out of my way not to touch them or anything like that. I don't, I do what I can to be courteous to every single dock owner out there. But when somebody like that comes up to me and starts reaming me out for throwing a freaking 4-inch wake off of my bass boat, I just got no patience for that whatsoever. So I've had most of the Karens, and I don't mean to, if somebody's name is Karen, that's not an insult, but that's sort of a generic term for, people that are just get their panties in the wad for no reason at all. I don't even know how that delineation came up. But most of the run-ins that I've had with guys like that have been dock owners. And a lot of the dock owners, excuse me, there's two things on there. One of them is it's almost like they sit up in their chair, in their rocking chair at the top of the hill, just waiting to scream at somebody if they come in there throwing off a wake that big. And the other ones are the ones that get mad if you're fishing around their boat dock. And they'll get down there and it's like they'll have 20 rods out off their docks with lines going everywhere so you can't get anywhere close to the boat dock. And they want to make sure that, you don't get anywhere near, or your fiberglass boat doesn't touch their steel boat cable or something like that. Their big piece of rusted steel boat cable. They don't want your $100,000 boat to fiberglass boat to touch their steel cable. But guys, I'm just, and I'm saying that this is an exception to the rule. I mean, most dock owners are super friendly. I mean, I had a guy today, we were fishing past this one dock, and he just came down there, and he was just as friendly as he could be. I mean, just super, super nice guy. Most people are. But occasionally you're going to get the dickmonger out there, like that I saw today, and that's just sort of part of fishing. And if you're one of those guys, if you're watching this video and you do have a boat dock and you hate bass fishermen or something, just chill out a little bit, because like I said, you really don't deserve the right to have your private boat dock on a public body of water, in my opinion. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about that. Let me share some stories, man. If you guys have had some run-ins like that, I'd be curious to hear that, and appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll check in later.